What's going on? What's going on? How's everyone doing? Damn, I'm looking crazy out here. Now, I'm not even gonna show you how my hair look under this hat. It's time to go get a cut. I gotta holler at the barber. Yeah. How's everyone doing? Hope everyone's great. Hope everyone's weekend was good. Hope you go into a great week. Hope everyone goes into a great work week. Hope you don't have to take in no drama, no problems. And you already know. And that's basically what the topic is going to be about today. Just these emotions that we carry and how we let it affect us in our professional setting when it's personal things and how emotions at times can control our actions and lead us down a bad road. Not all the time now. Sometimes emotions lead to a good thing because there are such things as good emotions. People think emotions, they think emotional, and they think sadness and everything else, but it's more than that. Sometimes happiness is an emotion, and love is an emotion, and it's a feeling. It's a great thing, and it lets me propose to my now wife. So, with that said, welcome to Royal Word Podcast. This your boy King Felix. What's going on? Before I go on, I'm gonna do a little cheers real quick. I got myself a nice little drink right here. And with that, I like to chase it down with another drink. A really good cider beer, by the way. Chilling Cider House, Excelsior, Imperial Mango is the flavor. 9.1%, really good. Bumped into that down in downtown Miami, in a place called Kush. Down there with my wife, who was out there for a little wedding. Yeah, man, that beer had us feel. A couple of those had us feeling good. I don't want to hold everyone up too long. I know people's attention spans is not too long. Sometimes they don't want to listen to a podcast for long, especially me when I like to talk about experience and just want to uplift and bring people together by talking about my messed up behaviors and stuff like that. And I always want to put a nice good spin to it because that's what we need out here. Life ain't always bad. Now, things do happen in life that sometimes we can't control and we can control, but we feel like we can't control it, so we make bad decisions. But life can be tough, and depending on how we react to it, depends the outcome of it. And it's one of those things where that's something I want to talk about. It's one of the things I want to talk about. It's been I think past, I feel like I had something here. I think it's maybe about a week and a half. This past week was good at work, but before that, a week and a half, it was a lot of frustration, a lot of anger, a lot of hostility. I was taking something that I know on the regular that wouldn't bother me, that I kind of just blow off. I just laugh at and continue with my time. I took it very, very wrong. Like, I was angry. I was angry. like I was mad. And I'm very honest with my feelings, and I don't like to hold it in. and being that I was at work, I was holding on my frustration of what was going on, and it was a lot of it which is festering inside. It was really bothering me. Until I exploded. And I think we all been there. We all been there where we at work, and we ain't trying to snap at people at work, because we just might lose our jobs. And we need the jobs. You feel me? We got bills to pay. We got things to take care of. We already have enough stress going on outside of work, and when stress at work starts to compound onto it, it basically makes it just very bad for us. And we've all been there, and we're human. I'm human, and I snapped, and I just let go of how I felt. And before that, I for the first time in a long time, I think about a year or so, I didn't feel like being at work. And that was just bad. I didn't like who I was, because that's not who I am. And I could easily blame it at what was going on at work, but the source of that anger, that frustration, was far from having to do anything at the job. Now, mind you, yes, the job was getting frustrating, but at the end of the day, the job is the job. Like, how I look at it is when I clock out, it's about my world. I go to the job to do the work I get paid for, and when I clock out, that's it. Anything that happens within the confines of the job, honestly, that stays at the job. I mean, I might come home and talk to my wife about it, but to carry on and to harbor this energy, nah. That's not who I am, and that's not what I like. And when I get to a point where I felt at that time, the anger that I felt inside, is bad, because how I approach situations already seems sort of confrontational, because I guess of how my demeanor is very strong. I'm not folding. I'm not here trying to be with the yes master type thing. I'm very strong in my stance, and it might come off confrontational, but it's professional. I'm not cursing. I'm not talking crazy. I'm very professional. But I'm just very straightforward. And with me already coming out, with me already sounding confrontational when I talk in a serious manner, me snapping just made it seem so bad, and I didn't like that at all whatsoever. It was horrible. I let my emotions control me at that moment, and I don't like that. And it's something that I talked about before, that we can't let our emotions control us, especially when it's negative. Well, when it's really in negative emotions, because we tend to make bad decisions on negative emotions when they control us. We tend to say things that we do want to say, but we say it in a bad way. We tend to move in a negative way, and every decision, every movement is bad, and it just leads to a bad outcome. This time it didn't lead to a bad outcome, but that's because of the parties involved and everything that was going on. We was able to really come to an understanding, and I was able to calm down and really afterwards and really find my source and go to work the next day and really take care of stuff. And mind you, I'm not too proud to apologize when I'm wrong, and I was wrong. I had every right to be frustrated, but I ain't had the right to snap and approach the person the way I did. It was childish. It was unprofessional. And I told myself it's something that won't happen again. But at that very moment, my emotions were very high, and a meeting was already set in place for things to be talked about, and I think my outburst made the meeting more impactful for my supervisor to go and talk about things that was going on. After the meeting, I was called to the office to one of the higher ups, and there was a lot of love there. And one of the first things I got was a hug. And when I got that hug, I felt my grandmother's energy. I felt her energy. I felt her spirit. And when I tell you that thing broke me down, that thing broke me down. After I snapped earlier in the day, I didn't talk. Like, I stood very quiet, very to myself. I went and did my job. I just put some music on in my ears and I took care of my job, did my thing. I was angry the whole time, but I took care of my job. When I went into the office and I had that one-on-one conversation, I got the hug. Before even having a conversation, when I tell you, my spirit, everything inside of me I wanted to cry. I literally wanted to cry, like, no lie. And it's one of those things where I held my emotions in, and I held my emotions in, and I said my piece, and I said thank you, and this won't happen again, and everything else, and I had to leave because every part of me wanted just to break down, like literally cry, like just let go. Now, I didn't cry when I went back to my office while I was by myself. But I found that source of where my frustration was at. Especially after that day, I didn't go straight home. I went to a bar of mine that I used to go to back in the day, and I kind of just took out my notebook and my pen, and I was writing while I had my drink and my food coming to me and everything, and I realized that source, and I realized where it was coming from. And it's one of those things where we fail to realize, as humans, that what we really angry at is not what we're facing, but is what we refuse to face. Like, mind y'all, like I said, I was frustrated at work. There was some things going on I didn't like. But on the regular, that's a brush of the shoulders, you feel me? That's dust it off, that's keep walking, keep doing my thing, just ain't nothing to laugh. Because when I clock out, I'm coming to a home full of love. I'm coming to my oldest, talking to me about football practice, coming to my youngest, calling me, letting me know about his day, coming to my wife, and we joking and laughing, and she poking my belly, because that's what she likes to do, and call me all her nicknames and all that other stuff in the world, and I'm good. I'm at a peaceful place. But I wasn't peaceful at that time. I was very mad, and going to my bar, writing down stuff, and going home, chilling, and the next day just having a conversation with the person I had a conversation with, sitting one-on-one, and then going to my weekend and kind of just vibing out and relaxing. I was able to really confront that source of what it was, and we as people tend to, like I said before, just to not confront something, not take it head on. We kind of like to blame the situation of now when it's really something of back then, and I let my back then interfere with my now, and that's not good. But like people say, we human, and we make mistakes, and that's true. I'm not perfect. I'm not perfect at all. I go through my prayers, countless of prayers. When I do mess up, I talk to my wife, and I talk to myself, and I write, and because we're not perfect. Sometimes we say things that we don't mean. We do things that we shouldn't do, and like I said, what I said at that moment, where I bursted, I meant a lot of what I said, but it could have been how I said it was bad. Not what I said, but how I said it. And I'm lucky, like I said, with the people that was involved for all this. We was able to sit down and have a talk, but that doesn't happen a lot. And in most places, you might lose your job. Things might not work out for you, or the job is going to be now. It's going to be even more stressful. It's going to be awkward, and that's what it's about. And it's a matter of just being accountable and just finding your place and just doing what you got to do. Now, that's not easy for everyone. We got pride, ego, and we tend to put ourselves in the pedestal that we shouldn't be sitting on, or we tend to forget we got responsibilities, we tend to forget that we got things to take care of, and we just can't be wild or quote unquote real. Because if you want to keep it real, acting out, losing your job ain't real. Stupid. Especially when you got bills to pay and you got family to take care of. So it's not real. Talking about, oh yeah, man, I said my piece, man, I'm the real ass. Nah, ain't nothing real about that. It's all stupidity. We real stupid. But ain't real like it's you a real man. Cause I ain't shaking your hand. You used to tell me that. You come to me and you tell me, oh, but I kept it real, man. I said my piece. I don't care how it sounded like. And you lose your job and you still talking crazy. I ain't shaking your hand. I'm telling you stupid. Especially when you got responsibilities to take care of. It's to be real. Now that's to be real. Sometimes we gotta bite our tongue. Now, I'm not saying you got to stay where you at, but you stay where you at until you find where you're supposed to go. You got to play the game like the way the game play you. So, I say all that to, sometimes we got to chill. We got to find our source of anger and what's really bothering us. And for me, I tell you straight up, that source for me, just a year ago in a month, I want to say, my grandmother passed away. She wasn't here for when I got married to the woman I love. Wasn't here to celebrate that. Wasn't here to celebrate anything. Birthday, marriage, nothing. Family broken. None of those conversations, none of that love, nothing. And I think about it. That's where I was angry at. Because I don't talk about death like that. I don't really, I have before, but in a sense, I don't really, I don't really handle it well. It's the one part of me that I just don't know how to deal with. Like I act like everything's okay, but when I lay down and I'm by myself, I think about who's not here and what they missing, and I wish they were here. And then, when I get into those thoughts, I get angry or I get sad, and then that wall crumbles down, or that better place crumbles down, and now everything bothers me. And not everyone can get it. I don't care who it is. Now, it is what it is, and that's not true, and that's not how it should be. But that's what happened. But that's what my source was. It was that right there. Because I'm still healing from that passing. Now, it's nowhere near as bad as it was with my grandfather, because I couldn't even say bye to my grandfather. Couldn't get a phone call, couldn't get a video call. I got a picture of him on his deathbed. Wow. Some people in the family got to see him. Got to make a video call. I got a picture. My bad, my phone. Let me silence that. Yeah, I got a picture, and that I was angry. I was angry at the whole family, because I don't care what beef they're going through. I don't care what beef. I don't care what it is. Family, especially when someone is dying, especially like the grandpa's the head of the family. You know what I'm saying? And with my grandmother, I got to talk to her at least before she passed away, and I got to talk about, my wife now, and I got to talk about the kids, and I got to show her that everything is going to be okay on my side. I'm not in that place of the unknown. You don't got to worry about me. But so much greatness happened after her passing that it just, not being able to share that sucked. And I might have not talked about it, and I might not showed it, but it was eating me up inside. And then I think when work came around, and something small like the job, I guess it snapped. I took something small and I snapped, and that's not what it should be, and that's not how it should have happened, but it did happen, so I learned from it. I'm lucky that I didn't end up with no job. And we as humans got to do better of confronting our sources of emotions, especially when it's negative emotions or where it's emotions that could interfere with who you are, bring a disturbance to who you are and your decisions that you make. And that's what it was. And just something that, I just went through, and I feel like I just had to talk about it, because I keep on saying, this right here is my therapy. And I know I'm not the only one that go through these type of things, so it's just one of those things where it's just like, if you understand where I'm coming from, you feel where I'm coming from, then you already know. When I say, we gotta do better, we gotta learn how to control these, we gotta learn how to face these things, it's for real. So, and I also want, before I go, they want to say, I said all emotions are not bad, and it's true. This happiness that I get from being at home, it's amazing. And it fuels me just to maneuver better in life. If I could make better decisions, and they could lead to my professional and financials, and be able to give more and build more, because the happiness that emotion it led to me proposing. It led to me finding my way, my peace, and not all emotion is bad. I've been down that negative side. I've been down that angry and loneliness and all the other stuff, and it was always the same outcome. Nowhere. Down and out. Losing a job, needing help, and this time is different. So me breaking down how I did really bothered me. But finding the source helped me maneuver everything, maneuver all my emotions and put them in their right compartments and be able to say, this is why I snapped. This is where I went wrong. And this is who I'm not. And it allowed me to take, like, this is who I am. This is how I should approach everything. So apologizing to the person, even though they were the cause of a lot of frustration going on, apologizing for my outburst, regardless of they say it's okay, it's all right, it's safe, regardless of what they say, apologizing is something I had to do. Because I wasn't only apologizing to them, I was apologizing to myself. Because that's not who I am, that was who I was. And who I am now, apologizing is the man that you need to see. And being able to talk to them in a professional manner, letting them know who I am, letting them know what I don't tolerate, what I do tolerate, letting them know where mistakes happen and how things can be fixed, and being able to speak without using any vulgar language and angry words was a lot more satisfying than my outbursts. So, let's and that goes all around everywhere. That leads into road rage. That leads into everything. When we let emotions I'm telling you, when we let negative emotions dictate our decision making, our actions, it leads to bad ways. That's how lovers get killed. That's how people get shot at on the road. When people get shot at on the road while driving. Like, all these little bad decisions, it's all from negative emotions. So let's strip that away. Let's find, and we strip that away by finding the source, by being real with ourselves. Not real with the action, real with ourselves. And then moving forward. All right, let's do that. Let's be better. Let's be better. And we do that by, like I said, finding our source of angerness, of anger, of whatever that's making you feel negative. Even if it's loneliness, if it's sadness, let's find that source of that negative feeling, and let's start the process of healing from that. Because finding it and starting the process, that's the first step. So with that said, you made it this far. Thank you. And thank you for listening. Hit the like button. If you like what you hear, hit the subscribe button. Don't take much. Hit the notification button, because I got more of these. I got another episode in mind with my wife. I think that's gonna be pretty dope. I think it's be cool. Notification, that share. That share does wonders, especially when you know someone that's going through something similar. I got my Power Ranger shirt on. Doing say rest in peace. Oh, let me go right here. You already know. With that, if you know anybody that's going through some things, I do keep the hotlines in the bottom of the description, phone numbers, websites. If you feel like someone needs help, please find that help for them. Sometimes we need help. We can't do this alone. And I've been there, and I know. So with that said, I'm still not showing you how my hair looks, so you see all this over here, but I ain't showing this craziness right now. But with that said, you already know, peace, love,